Hey, what's up, everyone? Hope you're all doing well. So I wanted to do a new series on personal finance, and I think a lot of people in this country are uneducated about personal finance as far as how to build wealth, how to minimize spending, all those types of topics where one could become a millionaire over time. So I thought I would do a video at least once a week on this personal finance topic, personal finance education, basically. I'm going to search for stories that I think are, you know, pertinent to this topic, whether it's how to become a millionaire, how to do your taxes, other things like that, how to help you minimize spending, how to increase your income, things like that. And I'll probably post this on Sundays, and we'll put it under probably like a playlist, personal finance education, like that. So if you're interested in those types of topics, please subscribe. It does help me out a lot. So the first topic that I found was 20 habits that prevent you from being a millionaire. So the article was published in Entrepreneur website. So I'm going to look at it here, and we'll go over all the 20 different habits, and I'll put my thinking behind each one as well. So 20 habits that prevent you from being a millionaire. Number one, sleep when you shouldn't. So if you wake up until noon and work 12 hours or more per day to make up for the late start, here's a thing I understand perfect because I struggle with it for years. We are not all active people in the morning. Me, I still stay in bed on cool, rainy mornings. The author writes, successful people are known to wake up early, usually before everyone else at home, so they can get started early on to get work started, catch up on the news, answer emails, and exercise without sacrificing time they spend with their family. So to me, obviously, family is very important. I have, 2 boys and a wife, and I love spending time with them. They're growing up so fast right now, so it's important for me to get as much time as I can with them. So I've started waking up early, in the past probably 2 months. I make it a habit to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning while they're still all asleep. I do a bunch of reading in the morning, get my stuff prepared, and create videos, obviously, for you guys in the mornings before probably 7 o'clock, and then post by 8 o'clock in the morning. So that helps me out with being able to, one, I would wake up more energized. I go to bed earlier. I go to bed at 10 o'clock. I used to go to bed at, 12, 1 o'clock, and then wake up at 7 o'clock and get ready for work for my regular job. But being able to do that has helped me out tremendously. I can get more things done in the morning. I feel like I've accomplished more during the day than I have when I was waking up later, going to bed later. So I completely understand where they're coming from with this. Sleep when you shouldn't. I think the earlier you get up, the more things you can get done. I think there is a benefit to it as well. So I do agree with this one very much. It has changed my life dramatically as far as in the last 2 months. Number 2, neglecting your health. When it comes to your health, bad habits do harmful damages, writes Thomas Corley, and change your habits, change your life, strategies that transformed 177 average people into self-made millionaires. When you are unhealthy, you're tired, less productive, more stressed, and much more likely to get sick. How can you focus on building your wealth if you fight the factors every day? So it's true. Your health isn't your number one priority, right? Without having your good health, you're not there to support your family, your kids, and you can't really pursue the things that you want to do because you're just fatigued. You can't really do anything. So taking care of your health is important, making sure you're eating right, getting plenty of sleep, obviously, and then also not indulging in vices like alcohol, smoking, things like that will obviously help. Big thing is exercise, getting a lot of exercise during the day if you can. So I agree with that. That's been pretty much a staple of my life. I don't drink a lot of alcohol. I may have a drink once or twice a week at night when the kids are in bed and before I go to bed. But I do agree with this one. This one's a big factor. Number 3, don't read. Obviously, people with money invest the time and effort necessary to expand their knowledge, keep up with the news and trends within their industry, learn from others, and take responsibility for continuing to innovate. As Lipovsky wrote, reading brings different perspectives, allows you to gain various points of view that will in turn expand yours, giving you the necessary push to dream big and motivate you to never give up. Reading, I used to hate reading when I was younger. Obviously, as I've gotten older, I've started to appreciate that reading actually does help you get more insight into things. And as the more insight you get into things, the more you're able to make better decisions based on your insight, right? So the more you read, the more you can, you're more educated, you can make better decisions in your life that way. So I do agree as well with this one. Number 4 is a big one for me. I think this is probably the number one thing that a lot of people don't do, and they really should do. So rely on a single source of income. I've always hustled. I've always done something, whether it was mowing lawns after work, doing web development or anything like that. So here's what they wrote. People with a lot of money have several sources of income, which means that for those of us who aspire to wealth, we have to invest part of our income to pay off our debts and reserve for retirement investment. This doesn't mean you have to get a second job while waiting for results. Not a bad idea until you have a better option. It could be something you're passionate about, like writing about technology. You could do it through a blog or start earning a passive income through the market. So yeah, you can invest in the market, get dividends on that. You could get a side hustle. There's plenty of side hustles you can do out there. We'll probably do a video on this as well, updated one for this year. But absolutely, the more income sources you have, the better off you're going to be able to make a better living, not only for yourself, for your family, but over time it's going to generate a lot more income for you where you can become a millionaire, hopefully. Number 5 is not setting a budget. Everyone needs to create a budget and stick to it, but unfortunately there are many people who do not. Since they can't see if they are spending more than they are accurately earning, it often leads to financial problems. If you notice that this is your case, then you need to start reducing unnecessary expenses, and you should talk to an advisor to help you out. In fact, it is another habit discovered by millionaire authors such as Thomas Stanley and William Danko after analyzing millionaire people for their book, The Millionaire Next Door. So if you don't have a budget, set a budget, whether it's on a piece of paper and then you're just tracking it that way, or there are plenty of websites that help you out with this where you can set a budget. So there's plenty of applications for your phone, for your computer that sync everything. You can look into it there, but definitely set a budget. This is a big one because if you're spending more than you're making, you're going to be in the hole. You're not going to get out of it. Number 6, don't think ahead. In my study, 95% of people who did not save, and most of them accumulated debt to subsidize their quality of life. Consequently, they do not have money either for the time of their retirement or for their children's education or for the opportunities that come their way, wrote Tom Corley in Change Your Habits, Change Your Life. Just like Corley says, not saving and spending more than you earn creates long-term poverty with no hope of escaping. So yeah, obviously think ahead, right? What are you doing? Are you spending too much? If you're spending too much, you need to cut that down. You need to basically plan ahead of, obviously if you have kids, you want to make sure the kids get an education. So there's things that you need to plan ahead early on in order to make the best of that time, right? We all have a limited set amount of time, and the better you're able to plan ahead for it, the better off you're going to be. So completely agree with that. Number 7, not paying attention to small expenses. This is a big one. A lot of people fall into this trap. So you may think that spending $40 a cup of coffee has no effect on your wallet. The same goes for that $500 gym membership you hardly ever use. But despite the fact that in the scheme of things, these are small expenses, believe it or not, they add up quickly, and they do add up quickly. I'll give you guys a couple examples here shortly. I recently randomly checked my computer's credit card payments. I found that 35% of people who buy coffee at least 4 times a week or go to the cafeteria every day they only pay the minimum on their credit card monthly. So yeah, paying your monthly minimum is a bad thing to do. Again, this is why a budget is so helpful. It helps manage these small expenses so you can adjust and focus on the important things. Remember to only keep the subscriptions that you actually use. Okay, so a lot of us have these subscriptions: Netflix, Hulu, HBO Plus, Apple TV, and then you got Disney TV, all of this stuff. If you're not actually getting your money's worth out of that, you're actually just wasting money, right? Money's coming out, you're $14, you're $9 there. It all adds up over time. So it's basically death by 1,000 cuts for your budget. So I basically twice a year, I'll go through everything that I get as far as subscriptions go, and I'll review which ones do I use, which ones don't I use, and then I get rid of those as fast as possible. If there's a show that you want to watch on Netflix or on HBO Plus, get the subscription for a month or 2, get rid of the subscription, and then when the show comes back, get the subscription again, and that way you're only paying for those 2 months or a month or 2 months instead of paying the whole year. So you're able to save close to $100 just doing that alone. You do that on a couple of services, well, that's $200, $300 that you could save easily per year. Dating the wrong people or having the wrong people as far as contacts. Number 8, replace the toxic and negative people in your life with those who are optimistic, motivating, and supportive. In life, you will only be successful if you surround yourself with the right people, says Corley. Completely agree with that. People that bring you down, people that are always causing drama, people that are, just out there spending, don't care. Those are the wrong type of people you want to be associated with. You want to find people that are thinking long term, that are, looking to grow as far as an individual, looking to increase their wealth. People that are positive, people that always think there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, basically. You want to associate yourself with those people to help you also move you up in the ranks. Number 9, postpone. It is one thing that you want to become a millionaire and quite another to start doing it. If you want to get out of financial stagnation, then you need to take action as soon as possible. If you sit down with a financial professional to adjust your budget, this would be a great step to start doing rather now than talking. Yeah, a lot of us have a problem with postponing some things. Some things are good to postpone, especially if you don't know something. So if you don't know something, it's better to postpone doing it and get educated on it than doing it right away. So there are cases for where postpone works. But obviously, don't postpone it that you want to become a millionaire, because you can't do something, you can't figure something out. Get educated, figure it out, and get going as fast as you can on it, right? Time is the only thing that's absolute. We only have so much time. The more time you waste on that, the more you're going to be behind. So get going on something right away. Drink and gamble. There's nothing like getting rich quick. Financial success takes time, initiative, and requires relentless effort. Those who gamble are deluded into thinking there is a shortcut to success, Corey writes. Instead, millionaires get in the habit of pursuing their dreams and goals. Yeah, so drinking and gambling, you're only basically drinking away money and you're gambling away money. So I don't gamble. Every once in a while, if the jackpot on the Mega Millions goes up to, 1 billion or something like that, I'll put $10 in, something like that. If I win it, that's fine. But it's not like an everyday occurrence where I'm trying to, thinking I'm going to be able to win a lot of the statistics are just against you in that. On the other hand, exercise and alcohol consumption prevents you from becoming a millionaire since it damages your memory, the ability to think clearly, and your health. That doesn't mean that you can't occasionally have a glass of wine or beer. Don't make drinking a habit, obviously. Number 11, watching too much TV. Rich people have small televisions and big libraries. Poor people have small libraries and big televisions. Zig Ziglar once said, do not misunderstand. I like to watch Netflix from time to time, but as Corey's discovery, the wealth prefer to read, exercise, and educate themselves rather than waste time watching television. Making productive use of time is a hallmark of millionaires. Wasting time belongs to poor people, says Corley. Yeah, I agree with this as well. I think watching too much TV is just counterproductive unless you're actually watching something that you're being educated on. So YouTube has a lot of, obviously, channels where they can teach you how to build something where you're saving money, whether it's a coffee table, they can teach you how to do your taxes, they can teach you how to do all these things. That to me is not wasting time as long as you're doing it towards an end goal of improving yourself, getting better, making more money and things like that. So that I don't see a problem with. The problem that I see is obviously when you're watching 4 hours of TV a day, that's just a waste of time. You could be spending that doing something much more productive that would help you in the long run in your life. Number 12, not finding a mentor. I think mentors are good, but I don't think they're required. So here's what they wrote. I'm sure if I had found a mentor years ago, I would have gotten rich since then. Why do I believe it? I could have learned from the successes and mistakes of someone who has developed in those fields. Their advice could have helped me to omit some of the many mistakes that I have experienced, and instead, I could have obtained some benefit. Instead of going out to a mentor, open up your eyes. They are all around you. You can take advice from a college professor, your parents, your current boss, the company that you work for. If you're working for somebody right now, there's a lot of people in your own circle that have great advice, that have been through things. You just got to be curious, find out, and ask a lot of questions. Number 13, staying in your comfort zone. Taking risks and getting out of your comfort zone is unsettling, I understand, but until you take that leap, you will find financial success. This is a habit that worked very well for Bill Gates, Richard Branson, Larry Ellison, and Warren Buffett. The pursuit of wealth requires risk. Most people do not, so they are not rich, says Corley. Yeah, a lot of us get into this comfort zone where, we don't want to take a lot of risk. We don't want to get outside of our comfort zone. in order to challenge yourself and to get better at things, you have to take that risk. You have to get out of your comfort zone. Me doing these videos is getting out of my comfort zone. One thing that I wanted to work on was obviously being a better speaker when I speak in front of large groups, not being afraid of the camera. So me being in front of the camera right now is me working towards that goal. And then obviously you have your own little circles when there's parties, things like that, where you just talk to those people at those events. Get out of that zone, look to other people, find out what they're doing, be curious about them. I'm sure you're going to be able to find out a lot more about somebody else and maybe learn from them as well than just, being with your circles of friends. So definitely I agree with that. Get out of your comfort zone. It will help you grow as an individual. Number 14, don't ask questions. You don't know everything. Put your ego aside for a moment. I hate being the bearer of bad news, but that's the fact. It will keep you from being rich until you deal with it. I learned the hard way that trying to guess the future leads to failure and poor decisions. If you are not sure about an investment or an idea for your business, do not hesitate to ask for feedback and advice. So I've seen this a lot with people that are successful. They ask a lot of questions. They're curious. They're naturally curious. They want to know everything about a certain topic, about a product or anything like that before they get into it. So don't think you know everything. You don't. I don't know everything. I'm constantly learning, trying to learn things, trying to figure things out. So ask as many questions as you can. If you can't, if you don't have anybody to ask, search the web, but make sure you're using reputable sources when learning about things. Number 15, being consumed by failure. Entrepreneurs wear failure as a badge of honor. They don't mean they enjoy it or want to fail. Going out of business and losing almost everything is rubbish, but those bumps of life are necessary to become as strong as you can be. Don't get confused. Failure is horrible, but you shouldn't let it stop you. Take risks, and if you fail, learn from those mistakes and move on. So, yeah, a lot of people don't want to fail, so they never try anything, right? But without trying something, you're never going to be able to learn from it. Even if you do fail from it, you will learn many, many lessons that will make you better at the next adventure in your life, whatever that is. Not getting daily goals. Number 16, one of the best habits I have adopted in recent years was writing my goals daily and first thing in the morning. This inspires and encourages me to achieve my goals. I found that setting daily goals helps prioritize from the most important to the least important. For example, instead of looking for my $100 overdue bills, I focus on one or two of 1,500. Prioritizing means doing what really matters. Setting goals, I've started dabbling with this a little bit. I set a goal right now. It's to post at least one video a week on YouTube, learn new topics at least once a day, something new that I'm not aware of, learn something new about cryptocurrencies, whether it's new coins coming up or whatever it is, but to learn something new every day and obviously to post videos. So there is a lot of benefit, I think, to it. If you set out your goals, what you're planning on doing, then you can just do a checklist and get those things done. Number 17, thinking negatively. Long-term success is only possible when you have a positive mindset, Corey writes. Here are some examples of the most common negative thoughts we have that most can overcome. Number 1 is doubting yourself. Training, education, and mentor can change this. Yes, absolutely. Believe that your goals cannot be achieved. Focus on reaching your daily goals and pushing yourself. Yeah, so if you set a goal, get it done, you have a sense of accomplishment afterwards. Have bad grades. No grades and learning difficulty do not determine success. Ask Richard Branson, who overcame dyslexia. Exactly. You're right. There's people that have learning disabilities, things like that have become millionaires, but they also know what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, and then they pursue those strengths. The competition is too high. You will never know until you try it, and in the worst case, just turn around, right? So there's always a fear that the competition is too high on something, but there's plenty of business to be had in anything that you do, as long as you provide great customer service. Customer service number 1. Without your customers, you got nothing. And then obviously providing a good value for whatever you're doing. Lack of concentration, living healthy, and setting daily goals can keep you focused. That is true. Waking up early, getting plenty of exercise, plenty of sleep, doing all those things will obviously change your life. Don't save. Number 18 is don't save. A job will never make you rich, nor will saving money in the piggy bank. Yeah, piggy bank right now you're not making anything. Rate of inflation is higher than that. You got to find ways to build wealth. Look for ways to escape the inflation. put money away if you're working at a job right now into a 401k or a profit sharing plan, anything like that. So how do you build wealth? That's Brendan Turner, Vice President of biggerpockets.com. So how is it achieved? Through tangible assets such as profitable businesses, growing stocks portfolio, or investing in real estate as well. Remember, your car and toys are responsibilities that take away the income from your future wealth. Focus on acquiring things that will make you money in the long run. So housing, stocks, other business adventures, or investing in businesses like that, things that make you regenerative income over and over. Number 19, make excuses. Excuses were one of the biggest obstacles between me and wealth. Making excuses is easy when we are trying to understand why we have so much debt, and if we don't have a six-figure income. Saying that we want to live in the moment is an excuse not to work and create a better future. Stop making excuses and start working. Yeah, get rid of excuses. There's no reason why you can't do anything, especially in this great country that we live in. The doors are literally open to any possibilities that you want to pursue. For example, don't worry about saving when you're drowning in debt. Pay first, and then what you can start saving, do so and invest. If you're not making enough money, find another source of income, like selling things online or delivering pizzas. That won't solve all your problems, but at least it's a start to ditching excuses, right? So the more income, obviously, doing side hustle, doing other things, will bring that money in. You can pay off your debt, and then you can start putting money aside. You can start investing in real estate or other things. So completely agree with that. Number 20, failure to follow the 70-30 rule. This is a tough one, even for me, I think. It's tough to put away what they're proposing here. So Jim Rohn, one of the country's leading business authority figures, has a simple formula for building your wealth. After paying taxes, learn to live with 70% of your income for your necessities and luxuries. It is important to see how you allocate the remaining 30% after that, mentions Rohn. Rohn suggests giving 1/3 to charity, 1/3 to equity investments, and the last third to savings. You won't notice anything at first, but let 5 years go by. The difference will be noticeable. 10 years later, they will be completely solid. That is a tough one even for me. Putting away 30% after taxes is going to be rough, especially if you have a family, you have kids. There's always something going on. They always get into some kind of medical thing, whether it's broken leg or something, or they want this or want that. So that's a tough one, especially, like I said, if you have a family. But overall, the more you save, I think the better off you're going to be in the long run. So these are the 20 rules, or the 20 things that lead people not to become millionaires. They are great examples of things that you should focus on. Make a list of these things if you can, and try to see if you can get better at each one of those things. It's not going to come overnight. It's going to take time. But you have to be patient, and you have to want to do it. If you want to have a better life for yourself and for your kids eventually, this is the way to start. The earlier you start, the better off you're going to be. So I wish you guys all the best in your millionaire journey. We all want to become millionaires. We all want to have, a good life. This is the American dream. Home ownership and becoming a millionaire. All right? Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, if you guys agree with any of these things or you don't. And we'll post another video about a topic on personal finance education next week. And until then, I'll see you guys in the daily videos, Monday through Sunday. Have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next one.